Okay, so I want to say good afternoon, Ashley.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright. It's been a long day for you?
Sort of. It's been a long week, I guess, or year. But yeah, I'm fine.
Can I ask you, how do you deal with jet lag?
I am jet lagged. I definitely am jet lagged. I mean, I usually can jump on a schedule pretty easy because I'm just used to sleeping whenever I can. But lately, since I've been here, I'm up, my body wants to be up at night, and then I get tired at 7 in the morning, and then I have to get up at 10. So, but whatever.
How do you have that type of energy? Because it's almost like being a robot, you have to be on call, you have to be ready, get up and go. How do you balance that? If at all.
I don't even know. I mean, I think we're all just so used to it. We're used to being tired. We're used to the time zones changing that. And we just have to we don't have a choice. We got a show. We can't push the show back to tomorrow. That's not going to work. So, I don't know. I mean, we all nap when we can. I took 3 naps yesterday at every second I could because I was so jet lagged.
No, that's all right.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, I mean, we just go with the flow, honestly.
As a man, there's a really bad thing called man flu, which when you get the flu, you're just I can't do anything. And I've just always wondered when artists and even dancers and people, handle stuff on the sounds or even the band, how do you guys still perform at optimum when you're sick?
I mean, most of us, we usually, unless it's really bad, we will push through it. We'll fight it out. We will take B12. We'll have a doctor come in and prescribe us stuff if we need it. I am a big fan of wellness pills and echinacea and vitamin C, emergency, airborne, orange juice, juicing, ginger, all of that. I will OD on everything. And most of us do. We stay pretty healthy. But once one person gets sick, that'll spread so quick because we're always together. So we have to try and keep ourselves healthy.
Okay, so for those who don't know and aren't aware, what is your role currently that most people know you for?
Well, I am currently on tour, on the Formation tour with Beyoncé, and I am her dance captain. One of them. There's 2 of us. And yeah. We're on tour right now, and we're in London. Yay!
Well, what is a dance captain for those who don't know? What do you actually contribute in terms of, is it choreography or stage setup?
Dance captain is so we have our choreographers, we have dance captains, we have dancers. And dance captains are also dancers. We just are kind of the voice and the head of the dancers. So for this tour, for example, there's 20 of us. 2 dance captains. If one girl is feeling sick, she needs a doctor, or if somebody missed their call time, we are the person who is the voice of all the dancers for whatever. If we need food, if we need this, we'll be the voice. Also, of course, because we're dance captains, we obviously have to be responsible and know everything that comes to dance and everything going on the stage. So I know all the choreography, and if I have to teach anybody anything that they don't know, I usually am responsible of doing that, and our other dance captain as well.
Yeah, Fly's trying to get into the shop.
Fly tried to get me.
How do you deal with pressure? Because some people fold under pressure, some people struggle with it, but you're dealing at probably the highest level possible when it comes down to optimum pressure. How do you handle that?
I've realized that I think I work pretty well under pressure. I'm not easily stressed. I try not to let myself because it's just too much to deal with sometimes. But I'm a pretty chill, relaxed person, and when the pressure is high, I think my performance pulls through even more. And yeah, some people can't deal with pressure, and some people overcome it and shine brighter. I think I use the pressure as fuel to add and fuel the fire.
I guess in your years working in this industry, you've probably seen people who can't handle it.
Yeah.
What do you tell them when they're like, when you can see that visibly, like they can't deal with it? Like, what kind of words do you say to them at that point?
Well, I mean, some people honestly like aren't cut out for it, and it just is what it is. There is a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of difficult, hard times just in this industry in general. And it's not about I don't think it's about how you're raised or anything, but some people just can't handle the pressure. Sometimes it is worse on them than it is for them to continue doing the job. If it's unhealthy for you to be dealing with this pressure, you need to get out. You shouldn't be unhealthy at the end of the day. But if clearly people have the potential, but maybe they're just not used to the kind of pressure, I try to lead by example and be supportive and just guide as much as I can to my own knowledge.
Being that you are in this industry, there's a lot of, I won't say there's a lot of sharks, but there's a lot of things that people don't know, pitfalls that they can fall into, especially being a woman coming into this industry. How have you tried to negate falling into certain traps, or people are trying to make unwarranted moves or inappropriate attention? How do you handle that, and how can people guard against it?
I think the most important thing that I've done has been keeping every relationship very professional. As soon as you start crossing the line, sometimes even if it's just friends and you're just getting cool with somebody, sometimes it can be taken the wrong type of way and used against you quickly and easily. And if you're working for someone or hired on this job to do a certain thing, do your job, and then when the job is over, do whatever you want to do, But I know for me, I keep everything very professional, and of course I'm not going to tolerate any disrespect, but professionalism.
At what point did you actually start dancing professionally?
I was 17.
17?
Yeah.
And was that always an ambition, or did you fall into it?
No, it was always an ambition. I've been dancing since I was 3, and then I did some professional jobs here and there, 15 and 16. But really, as a career, I started it at 17, and yeah, I mean, I kind of did fall into it as far as this entertainment industry, because I just auditioned for Beyoncé, and then it turned into a video, and then video turned into tour and stuff. But I think it was fate. I think I was at the right place at the right time, and it was meant to be, and yeah, part of my journey.
Were your family supportive of you going down that route, or was it more academic that they wanted to push you into?
They told me when I had to make my decision to continue touring with Beyoncé or go to college to Julliard, they said, it's up to you, we support you either way. So that was my first big adult decision on my own that I had to make.
Yeah. So 17, leaving home, did you get homesick, or how did you deal with that?
I did. I mean, honestly, now that I look back at it, I was just so living in the moment and trying to do my best at my job, and be a hard worker and just do what I had to do and have a good time at the same time. I love performing, so that came natural. The traveling and stuff and the touring, that was all new, but I got the hang of it pretty quick. Of course I missed my family, of course I missed home, but I think I was meant to be doing this.
And I've seen that you've got a huge following on social media. How do you handle that aspect then? You're going to have a lot of people who's going to have differing questions, wanting to follow your footsteps. So how do you manage the social media aspect of things?
Well, social media is so interesting because, when I was growing up, I didn't have the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Snapchats and stuff to really follow people who you looked up to. So it's very interesting, and not to say that everyone who follows me looks up to me. Some people just like know me or whatever, or are actually my friends. But it's very interesting because it's crazy how some people feel like they know you so well through social media, and they'll speak to you like, hey, what's up, Ashley? How are you? And you're like, hi, have we met? Like confused. And then they're like, oh, I follow you on this or I follow you on that. But I don't know, I try not to expose too much of my personal life because you have to keep some things for yourself, you know?
So you must get that when you actually are out and about personally, people may just say, hey, Ashley, away from social media, it comes into real life.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
So the perks must be what, now that you've got a huge following, you're doing well in your career, what are kind of like the perks that you're able to create for yourself?
Well, I think it's cool to like try and build a platform with a following and a fan base to inspire, to continue to hopefully inspire and share knowledge. I do enjoy sharing what I have learned being in this industry or just in my life, and of course, like great things come out of it, like me sitting here with you today, and yeah, there's some really good perks.
Is it a short industry?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like for dancers, a lot of them don't continue it past 35. Some do, and it's amazing, but a lot don't. And 35 now doesn't even sound that far away to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's gonna happen next? But it's all just part of the journey, I guess. We shall see.
The aspect of actually doing well in a career, to actually potentially for women feeling that they have to settle down at a certain stage or age, or whether they want to be a mother or they want to get married, which comes first? What is the priority now? Getting somewhere in my career or establishing like a family unit?
I feel like nowadays women especially are so career driven and independent that like having a kid at 40 isn't like crazy anymore, and that 40 used to sound old, but like settling down and calming your life down to like start a family at 40 isn't that like insane anymore, because we have such powerful, strong working women who are doing their own thing. It is hard to like set your career aside, to put it on hold, I guess, for the family or the husband or whatever. So I don't know if I don't necessarily think there's like an age range anymore.
Which is good though, because I know there's always people who feel like they have to do things by a certain time or fit a status quo, and it seems like there's a new generation who's like, no, we can have it all under our own terms.
I agree.
So outside of dance, and you seem like a sharp person, quite very driven. What are the kind of things you're trying to achieve away from dance?
Well, I want to explore more acting. I've done some. I did the TV show Hit the Floor, and that was really cool. The series, I was in season 3, and that was just a cool, different path of the entertainment world that I've finally done now. I got to act a little bit. My name was Double Girl Peyton on the show, and I would like to explore more acting in that sense. Then I also did the Reba to the Rescue children's book, where it's an animated ebook, just educating pre-K and kindergarten children. And in my segment, we talk about our bodies and how I use my body to dance and stuff. And it's just really cool because it was a voiceover. So it was another form of acting, but it was like all animated and it was my voice. And I don't know, I just thought it was really cool to hear my voice on this animated little character that looks just like me. And I never would have thought I would do any voiceover work, but I'm like, well, maybe that could be something else in the near future too.
How did that come together? Who approached who in that regard?
The writer of it, Cicely Mitchell, she approached my publicist and reached out, and then we took it from there.
Okay. And you spoke before about some of the lessons, kind of, you didn't elaborate to them, but what would you say some of the lessons you've learned whilst being in dance and just actually exposing yourself to further business opportunities?
I've learned that this fly, let me tell you. I've learned that nothing's going to be handed to you. You have to work hard for it on your own, and fight for it. And it takes so much dedication and sacrifice and hard work and all that, of course, like with anybody who has any type of success. But I've also learned that staying humble is important. And I don't know, for me it's important to love what I'm doing, because there's so many people who hate their job. So I feel like when you have a career or a job that you hate, why are you doing it? Go pursue your dreams. Go follow your heart. And yeah, I think that's important. A lesson that I've just learned over my years.
It is interesting you say that, because there are many people who feel like they're in that cycle where they don't enjoy what they're doing, it affects them mentally, and they don't have an outlet, and they just end up being miserable. But the flip side is obviously you're in a path where you are doing what you enjoy, but it still must be varying levels of, like you said, that being physically tired. Does that ever make you think, I'm blessed, but today I'm not feeling?
Of course, we all have our days where we're like, I love what I do, I'm blessed, I'm grateful, but I'm tired, I need a day off, or I don't feel like it. Like, we all have those days. At the end of the day, I think the good for me outweighs the bad, so that's for me personally.
And lastly, what I was going to ask you is injuries. Dancers must get a ton of injuries. How do you guys deal with that then, when it shows up?
Well, on tour right now, we're lucky enough to have 2 physical therapists traveling with us, so we can get adjusted and massage therapy and stuff like that for whatever's bothering us. But, there are a lot of dancers that need attention, so it's hard to find time to see them, but luckily they're there if we need them. But yeah, it's hard. Dancers get injured all the time, but I also feel like dancers, whenever they get injured, they also heal very fast, because our bodies are so active and healthy and used to moving so much that they heal, and usually they heal and grow stronger. So.
What injuries have you had? Have you had any?
I hurt my ankle one time. I stretched out a ligament. It rolled over completely all the way to the side. I thought my ankle was broken. It swelled up like a grapefruit. So big. It was the day before an opening show of tour back in 2009. And I was out for about 2.5 weeks. I couldn't.
That's quick though.
It is pretty quick. It was
damage.
because I didn't need surgery or anything. It was just basically a super, super sprained ankle. Terribly sprained.